Hey there, good morning everyone. Friday the 26th of August 2022. This morning's devotional is a reading from Proverbs chapter 14 verse 12, which reads, "There is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death." Between 1940 and 1957 in America, there was a radio program which was hosted by NBC Radio, and the program's name was called Truth or Consequences. And in this program, the contestants had to answer a trivia question correctly or face the consequences of an incorrect answer. Dishonesty also had its consequences as well. And today, I would like to share 3 words with you, these being choices, conditions, and consequences. So to put another way, your choices in life produce the eventual conditions of your life, which inevitably result in certain consequences which you may dislike, but cannot cancel or undo. For example, if a person uses drugs and abuses their body with alcohol or drugs or whatever, there is a result. The body suffers, the liver and has damage, and there's also other possible organ damage. The consequences, living with pain or facing possible surgery. Each choice has conditions which eventually lead to the consequences. But I also add that no choice has its own set of conditions and consequences. People choose how they use their feelings. They can choose their attitudes, actions, and what they want to achieve. And the things they do as a result can affect both them and other people. And I think here of the story of the prodigal son, and we can find that in Luke chapter 15, verses 11 to 32, in which you read about a young man who decided that waiting for his inheritance was taking too long. He needed the money. We all need the money, don't we? And it was too difficult. So he made a decision. He said to his father, "I want my share of the inheritance, and I want it now." Father gave him his share of inheritance, and off he went to fame and fortune, or whatever he wanted to do. But he went to a distant land, and his choice eventually determined the conditions of his life. That young man lived out his inheritance with wine, woman, and song, living it up, having a good party, having a good time. But when his money was gone and his friends deserted him, he had to find work. Not finding anything that he wanted, but getting hungrier and hungrier each day, he eventually went to work for a pig farmer, feeding the swine. You see, he didn't foresee all of this happening. He could have, but he didn't. And that is where we often go wrong. We don't think beyond the immediate. We don't want to face the consequences of our decisions. And there is a phrase in the story which really resonates with me. We find it in verse 17. It reads, "And he came to his senses." Isn't it amazing how hunger or danger clears your mind and it helps you realize what a silly or stupid thing you've done? That's when we want to go back and start over. In the story, the young man did repent. He did an about face and he went home. He did, but did he escape the consequences of his actions? Nope, not really. The family fortune had been reduced. His brother was furious with him, and his father's heart had been broken. Yes, the father did forgive him, which also speaks of the largeness of God's grace. But he lived with the memory of his failure and that of a broken relationship with his brother. My dear friends, always remember that you get to make your own choices in life, but you do not get to choose the consequences. Think wise, pray hard before doing something silly. May the Lord be with you. May he bless you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be with you always. Goodbye.